Hey, yeah, I can see you. Can you see like a notification going on one of your windows? Okay, stop. All right. Um, so I'm gonna probably start the show here in 1 second, and just I'm gonna go over some of the index numbers for like the Dow Jones, and then I'm gonna introduce you, and like I said, just go over some of the same questions we went over the other night. All right. Because again, with the application I'm using, I can't see you. I can see you. You can't see me. Yeah, I can see you. No, you're fine. Yeah, yeah. I like it. All right. All right. So I'm about to get the. I'm starting the stream. So I'm about to do the introduction and then bring you on in. How's everybody doing tonight? It's your host, Samuel Hill, with tonight's episode of Black Money Market News. I am appreciative that everyone's taking their time to tune in tonight, and tonight I have something very special for you. I'm going to get started and go over the performance of the index and of the stock market, and then we're going to roll into our special guest for the evening. So just kind of review, pretty much an update across the board on the stock market exchanges here in the States. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up roughly 0.5%. S&P 500 was slightly over 0.5% in the day at 2651 and 50 cent. Nasdaq was also up $27 on the day, and the Russell 2000 was a laggard, still up but only up $1 and some change. Bitcoin is down roughly a couple percent on the day, roughly $200 from the intraday highs, but I'll definitely deep dive into Bitcoin later. What I want to do first, folks, is on tonight's show, I want to bring on Miss Leah Tomlin. She is a excellent like freelance accountant and financial educator. So I'm gonna bring her on the line, and we are going to go into some questions on some topics that your wallet can use. All right, Miss Lee, how you doing this evening? Doing well, doing well. I wanted to bring you on tonight. Again, a lot of my viewers are, investors, and we're about to come up on tax time. And so, as someone that has that accounting experience, I wanted to get your opinion on, you know, different things that people need to look at and be aware of when you're doing taxes from an investor standpoint.
From an investor standpoint, if this is like your first year investing in any type of stock or anything like that, it's going to be a big change for you. First and foremost, just be prepared to pay, regardless of how you file your taxes. If you go to like a CPA or a place like H&R Block or Martin or somewhere, typically the costs are pretty low when it's like the basic income and a couple of kids tax return. But when we start adding property and tax and not taxes but stocks and bonds and things like that, the prices go up significantly. So I would expect to spend at least 300 on the low end preparing your taxes, and this is something that you are going to want to consult a professional to do, especially the first time around. Um, if you use a place where you can ask questions, you can go in and do a one-on-one type thing, like maybe the H&R Block. Um, that would probably be good for your first time. Then the next year, try it yourself. But I would definitely consult a professional because the new schedules that you'll be adding to your returns are a lot more complicated, and you just need someone with that experience and that knowledge to take care of you properly. Because the IRS gets pretty tough when it comes to Schedule D stock transactions and things like that.
Right. So definitely, if you're from an investor standpoint, your advice is definitely to sit down with a licensed tax preparer who can take a look at their individual, needs, because each year is going to change depending on their returns on their investments.
Right, 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 right.
I know you said you were starting to do some research into some of the changes that Congress is proposing. What are some key things you want to make sure people maybe need to keep an eye on or may not be aware of with the tax changes that, from your understanding right now?
Well, something that's been in the news is big. I think the story dropped yesterday or the day before. IRS won a lawsuit against Coinbase, and from what I understand, Coinbase is the site where you share and trade cryptocurrencies. They won a case against Coinbase. Sorry, where their Coinbase is going to now be giving the IRS your info. Well, at this time, they're only getting info from people that do at least 20,000 per transactions between the year 2013 when the cryptocurrency thing started and now. Um, and they're going to be able to see, excuse me, the type of transactions you participated in and how much you initially invested in, all the way to now, so that you can start reporting those gains and that extra income. Because I guess up until now, you kind of fly under the radar when it comes to cryptocurrencies because they're not reported like normal stocks are to the IRS at the end of the year. So that's something to watch out for. Um, I don't know if they're gonna expand that realm from 20 grand per transaction down to like normal dollar amounts, but I would not be surprised with the federal debt that we're in right now. I think they're trying to find their money however they can, and they're coming for the Bitcoin traders and the cryptocurrency users hard. So definitely watch out for that. Follow that story. I've been following on Forbes. They give the best and most useful information when it comes to this case. And there's another one. It's like I think it's um, Bitcoin taxation.
Okay.
It's like a blog that some CPA is running on it, and his info is pretty legit when it comes to cryptocurrency news and the things that Coinbase is dealing with the IRS right now. So definitely want to watch and stay up on that.
Exactly. I always tell people, don't do a Wesley Snipes, don't pull a Ron Isley, end up in jail over tax money. If you win and pay it, if you don't make
Yeah.
money, you can write that off,
Right.
and that initial investment you can downtake as a loss, and it will actually eat up some of the gains you make. So if you're
Mhm.
winning, just go ahead and pay Uncle Sam his little tithes and offering and keep it pushing.
Exactly.
There's
Exactly.
no point in having $100 million in your account if you're
Exactly.
looking through silver bars.
And while this stuff is growing so fast, I would say that it's very, very, very important for you to keep your records, paper records, hard copy records. Keep them forever, or at least until you get rid of the investment, the property, the stock. Simply because they're going to try to come at you for that base price. That's kind of like I say. I'm reading that it's kind of hard to calculate your basis based on the way that cryptocurrencies are traded. So if you have that info handy when you purchase your first cryptocurrencies, you're going to want to keep that safe so that when you start selling or start buying things with your bitcoins or whatever currencies you're using, you'll have that basis. So when you file your taxes, you won't have any type of drama with the IRS on that return because they're probably going to audit you.
So just to break it down for folks, what she's referring to is that you can look at your transaction logs, see your purchase dates, see how many Bitcoins you bought for that price. And
Mhm.
it's just like you're investing with a stock. You got to do your math on, your overall investments, all of your purchases at the various price points. And then once you get your total investment, also total up your total winnings, your total earnings, and then
Exactly.
subtract your investment, and that's what you're going to have to pay taxes on. Can you kind of break down the difference between like short term and capital gains a little bit, or?
Just really easily. When you do your Schedule Ds, or when you talk Schedule Ds with your tax preparer, short term is anything that you held for a year or less. Anything, um, home, well, homes not, but any type of stock, bonds, or anything that you carry for a year or less. And long term is a year over. That's the simplest part of that. Also, another thing I wanted to remind everyone, if you're new to investing in that way, stocks, bonds, whatever you're investing in, you're going to get a new statement in the mail. You're going to get a 1099-B. So that should come also mid-February to everyone. And that's another red flag. Your mutual fund companies or whoever you invest through reports that to the IRS and sends that to the IRS um, the end of every year. So if you file a tax return and you leave off your 1099-B because you did not know or you forgot, you'll get audited for sure. And they may, when it comes to those type of transactions, they come more aggressively. So they're not really into giving you a chance to gather up your info, file an amendment. They may come at you first for the money and then let you fight about it later. And you don't want to deal with that at all.
Right. When you're coming at it from an investment standpoint, they feel that you should be more financially smart, financially aware, to
Exactly.
be, more responsible when it comes to your taxes and the correct filing. So they do tend
Hmm.
to be a little bit more on the attack mode when they can see you know people making money on investments and not reporting them properly.
Exactly.
Um, any other advice you would like to give to people or bugs that you want to drop in people's ear? Anything you want to promote about yourself?
Ask for help. Ask me for help if you want. You can find me on Facebook, Insta, all the major social medias for now. I work under a page for now called L Economics. So you can find me there and find all my contact info and the services that I can offer you there. Um, but, ask for help. I'm here. If you go to a major tax service, they usually are available year round for assistance. But ask questions. I think with the IRS is something that you don't want to risk at all because they will come for your life if you don't, have it right with them. So, ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions when it comes to this.
All right. I'll make sure I'll tag your business page and on here, so it'll be a posted comment. So,
Cool.
folks, if you have any questions, definitely reach out to her. I've worked with her on several occasions on several other business projects in the past. She's been very professional and been definitely helped me and lead me in the right path on making smart decisions from a business perspective. So again, appreciate you taking your time this evening and talking to my listeners, and look forward to maybe having you on again in the future.
All right. Talk to you later.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right, guys. Appreciate you guys watching tonight. That was Miss Leah Tomlin. Again, her business page is L Economics. So if you guys need any assistance when it comes to your taxes or just some basic, accounting advice, you can definitely reach out to her to give you some good news and not lead you astray when it comes to that. Um, in other news, folks, I want to dive into what's been going on with Bitcoin. I'm going to pull up the chart and we'll go over some key levels of support that I've been watching and key levels of resistance that we may need to keep an eye on to see when this next breakout is going to start rushing in Bitcoin. Trying to give you guys a little bit more of my background of my thesis of what's caused the moves as of late. Again, starting Sunday night, Bitcoin futures will be trading on a major financial exchange. It sounds like about half of the major brokerage firms have went ahead and said they're going to allow their clients to trade the futures, and roughly the other half, I would say 25%, has said no for now. They're sitting on the sidelines, and another 25% have said that they will evaluate it day by day. The big things people need to look at, which is going to kind of determine um, the influence these futures may have on Bitcoin, are one, um, how much volume, how active is the trading actually going to be with these futures? Is it going to be like an oil future where there's literally thousands or hundreds of thousands being traded a day? Or is it going to be more of a lithium, well, I can't say lithium anymore because lithium has been going crazy, but some of the least, lower, least popular commodities with very low volume in the dozens to maybe a couple of hundred contracts a day. So the volume, how much activity is going to be in the future, is definitely going to play a key part in how those futures may affect Bitcoin pricing. Two, what a lot of people are looking out for is how wide the spread is going to be for these futures. Most futures are, the spread is within cents to maybe a dollar or so. Some are predicting that the spreads may be as much as $10, $100 on Bitcoin. That will be very profitable for the exchanges, the broker houses that are allowing their clients to do so. Excuse me, folks. So if you are looking to invest into financials, take a look to see which brokers are allowing their clients to, trade those futures contracts. Would be a good place to look, especially if those spreads are large. Um, Another key thing is going to be looking at, again, mainly just seeing how these futures contracts may influence pricing. I have the price chart up. Looking at the VIX. Let me go ahead and pull up Bitcoin's price while we are talking about it. Bitcoin dollar. Again, yesterday I was pointing out that we did have this nice large correction. We have rebounded. We have not retested the 17,000 level, which is a key resistance level. It has been holding support. Has not broke back down the 15,000 level, which I would say was a key level of support. I want to get a little bit more finite and get in here a little bit closer. As you can see, we are starting to develop. I'm gonna try to see if I can. There we go. As you can see here, we did cross over this lower support level. We pulled up, and what I'm looking at, which I was trying to point out, is this new series of higher lows. We are channeling over. We're not really getting a series of higher highs, but a series of lower highs. But this looks like a good breakout formation, a good triangle pattern forming. Again, what you want to look out for would be a breakout. I would say now, to get a little bit more finite on the levels, let's look for a breakout above 16,800 to see if the rally will continue. If it breaks out 16,800, pulls through 17,000, we could be back off to the races, folks, on the plus side. I will say it's kind of tough right now to kind of predict when this breakout may start. Just looking at previous consolidation after previous all-time highs, taking a look back when Bitcoin first broke out of that 13,000 level, there was a period of a couple of hours of consolidation. We're well beyond that. We're going on to a couple of days now. So it really just depends. But I do see that, with that formation of, there we go, trying to adjust this chart again. Sorry about that, y'all. With that formation of that triangle pattern, I'm definitely will think that as long as we don't get a bearish, we already have this bearish crossover. We look like we're flat. We're plateauing here on the MACD to flattening that out. We may be getting a bullish crossover forming here soon, and with this triangle formation of these lower highs, but these higher lows, we are looking to maybe form another breakout here in the next day or so. It's Bitcoin, so it's 24/7 on the trading on it. Since I do have the charts up, let's take a quick look at the Dow Jones today. Dow Jones Industrial Average did spike at all-time highs, touching an intraday all-time high of 24,533 early at the open. We did have a pullback and kind of flattening out and then rallied late into the day. Good unemployment numbers came out today, and that kind of put a jump in the market, kind of regaining some of the losses, earlier in the week. If we take this out to a daily view, you saw we ended the week with 2 good days, clawing back some of the early losses we had in the week. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Where is it? There we go. S&P 500, same thing. Opened at the high of the day, rallied. Actually, that's a daily chart. Sorry about that. But even still, opened with a nice pop this morning. Rallied through most of the day. Plateaued probably right around lunch before a pullback. And then a strong end, last 15 minutes of the day, rallying to close and to close at the all-time high. So, strong day on the S&P 500. Tonight's show is a little bit longer, but I'm glad we had our special guest on again. I'll put her information in the comment section of tonight's show, and I'll pin that so you guys can reach out to Ms. Lee if you guys have any questions you would like to pick her brain. Next week, I will have a special guest on as well. So definitely stay tuned. Tonight's the last night to enter for this week's contest for the Bitcoin giveaway. Again, if you want to enter to win free Bitcoin, all you have to do is like, share, and comment on one of this week's episodes of the Black Money Market News. I'm keeping a track of those, and I'll announce this week's winner on Monday's show. Other than that, folks, I hope you enjoy your weekend coming up. Enjoy your time with your friends and family. If there's any late breaking news on Bitcoin or the crypto space, I definitely will bring it. I may do a quick short show tomorrow. There's been a lot of activity the last 24 hours in Litecoin. Haven't really had a chance to touch on it, but I definitely want to show you guys what's been going on with Litecoin and going over some of the technical analysis on the charting on where it could go next. Other than that, folks, I appreciate you guys watching this night's episode of the Black Money Market News. Until next time, with love.